All right, everyone. Welcome to 101. My name is Manon. I'm a published author. I do fiction, nonfiction, and I work very much a lot on the children book right now. I have a big project of 365 story, basically a story per night for children between the age of 7 and 13. I have 2 books published on meditation. I have a planner for writers also on Amazon and quite a few coloring books. So we have quite a few new people. This is fantastic. And I'm going to try to go through everything with you. I like for you to know that if you become like mute, you're talking, I'm going to ask you to unmute because it's very hard sometimes to do a class and there is background music or background noise or you know how that works. So I will mute everyone. I like people to raise their hands. If you know where the raise hands is at the bottom on the reaction, you can raise your hand or just in the middle between two phrases. And I will try to get to you and answer your question. Also question in the chat. We're supposed to have a few ambassador, which can supposed to help. Hey, Tabby, finally Tabby came in. So I have a co-host. Are you okay, Tabby? So I put you co-host. I don't see if you have your.
Yep.
All right.
You can make me co-host.
So which one do I put co-host? The one with the microphone or the one without the microphone?
Should we leave it?
Co-host. Did it work?
Oh my god.
Make co-host.
Okay, so we want to see the whole
It doesn't
screen.
want to do this one.
What?
All right. Okay. Make co-host. Here we go. Your co-host, Tabby. So Tabby is my co-host. She will also look in the chat when there is question. And she's a very good teacher too. She will answer a question in the chat for you, no problem. Know that I also speak another language. I speak French. And when people need help in a second language, Italian, German, and all that, I'm also the one who's responsible for this in Discord. So let's share my screen and let's start this show. Desktop, Google. Let's go with the desktop. All right. So I see my people on the side, but I need access to the chat. There we go, the chat on the side. Okay, and everybody is on top. All right. Let's start this show right here. Okay. This is the first screen when you comes in Sudowrite. Okay. So we have our project. We have our little button to say I'm starting a new project. We have the plugins, and we have here that everyone already know because they register for this class. So you come here and register for your class. And okay, where's the one for when we want to be? Okay, right here. And we have our little button on top. We have quite a few of those buttons to go through. In the same time, I'm going to share this one here with you guys so you can actually follow when we're no longer online and you want to know everything we did today. So this is, let me know, Tabby, if you can open and it worked the document, please. Okay, under the interrogation point we have here, this is the place where you go and you can ask your frequent question. So every question you may have, there's a big document that Sudowrite did for you. You can click on search and put your question and hopefully the answer is there. Next, join Discord, extremely important. Join Discord. Everyone see my screen, right? Sure we all see the screen? I need a yes or a no.
Yes, we can see it, Manon.
Thank you.
Yep, we can see it.
Perfect.
Also, your document, you just have to request access. So I didn't know if you wanted to make it public or not.
Okay, I will put it public in a minute. I will do that.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. I will do that now. So it's not supposed to be private, just me. How do we do that? Copy the link. All right, I would have to fix that. Huh. All right, I would have to fix that. And do you know how to fix that in this document to put it as public? Anyone knows? I never had to do that before. Ah, there it is. Okay. Anyone with the link? Copy the link. Done. There we go. All right. That one should work, Debbie. All right. In Discord, this is where you're going to find the class, past class, video, any question you may have. We have 4,271 members. This is what it's going to look like when you get in. All right, this is your Sudowrite. When you're brand new, I believe they bring you to a window where it says introduce yourself. This is the calendar under the event, what's happening today and during the week. It's a week at a time.
Sorry, Ruby.
Okay. We have the channels, the members, feedbacks, course video, tips and tricks. Is everyone has access to the plugin? Everyone, the brand new people, do you have access to the plugin on your Sudowrite, which is this? Perfect. Thank you so much. That's the plugin here. So everyone has that. That's perfect. Great. Thank you. So this is everything is here basically under Discord. Every question you may have, people which has multi-language, we write here. So we have the French, Spanish, German, Italian, and we help each other to write in a different language in Sudowrite. We have our teacher built on board, lots of information in Discord. Any question you have, you can go and ask question and someone will answer you. This is a company, Sudowrite, which is very quick. If you have any problem, they're going to come in and they're going to help you. No problem at all. All right, so interrogation point Discord. There's a guide that you can go in, and basically it's like a little book to tell you how to work with Sudowrite. There's a suggestion feature. Once you work with Sudowrite for a while and you see things that you really like to see, you make a search here, make sure if someone got it before you. And if someone have it before you and they have like people like this that already upvote, it says, oh, I really want that, go for it, upvote it, and then they go to the top. So we have quite a lot of suggestions for Sudowrite, and they're working on it one at a time. But they're working on it, which is a fantastic thing with them. Report a bug. Sometime when you work with Sudowrite, you may end up with some bugs, which means a prose or a synopsis or something which doesn't finish to generate. We call that a bug. So you basically says, okay, I'm on this page. You put the IP address for the page on your email, and you tell them what's happening. You make a copy of something, and you just put a little subject, and you send away, and they're going to answer you. They always did. They never did not answer me. Try to get this to come out. Here we go. All right. You can email them or you can chat with them. All right. And it's hi@sudowrite.com. So hi@sudowrite.com. Then we have our setting gear. That's where you're going to see your account, how many credits you have. If you want to buy credit, if you want to change your plan, it's over here, manage your membership, your billing, it's your credit card information. Everything for your little account is right here. There's a little tool that you can use to learn even more. You can use the tour. But today we're going to go through for the people who really wants to write their story or bio or whatever you're writing, okay? So you can change your font. You can change font that you want. Even for dyslexic people, we have a font for them. So the one which you like better for you when you're writing. You can change your size of letter.
Manon,
Yes.
I was looking the other day, and I was trying to find a place where you could set the language, not so much to a foreign language, but to.
We cannot set the language yet, and that's one of the features I'm asking for. Are you still there? If you're speaking, we don't hear you anymore. You're not mute, but we don't hear you anymore. I hope I answer your question. You can have your line spacing between your line. You can also change if you don't like
English.
Are you okay? You may have a problem with your internet and it's not timing.
It would be good if there was an option.
Yes, yeah, I totally agree with you. I would like to have a nice little button here on the corner and says with a drop down to choose French, German, whichever language they can actually add, that we have everything in our language that we write in. This is one of the feature that I asked for. All you have to do is go in the feature, look for language, and then upvote it. All right, back to this here. We can change the color. You can use sorbet. You can use amber, the color that you want, which is easier for your eyes. I think I like the moonbeam for me right now. Then you can show your word count when you're working, and you can indent your paragraph. This one here, if you're working with some program to do your books, once you copy from your project to a Word document or a book that you can build your book together, the space between the paragraph, it's too, sorry, mute. The distance between the two paragraphs, it's too big, and that make extremely big. When you do the publishing of your book, you have to go and take the indentation off. So I don't suggest to use it if you want to publish your book, because it's more work at the end for you to go and take off the indent that was put by Sudowrite. Just a little thing that I found out when I tried to publish. All right, this far, is there any question on those little button on top here, those two there? And no question? All right, let's jump into the big project that we have. This is class 101, so I start a little project with some ideas. Now in Sudowrite 101, we have all those buttons on top, obviously, home when you come back to the screen. This one required some words, but this is right. And the right is having those very nice little, what we call the laser tool on top here. You get the autocomplete with magic. So basically when you have a story and you highlight some of the text and you want to get autocomplete with some magic in it, you click on it. I will show you that. I will show you that as we go. I want to remind you, this is already recorded and it's going to be sent to Sudowrite directly, and they're going to upload it for you guys during the week so you can look at it again. No problem. There's a guided instruction also. It works in the same way as when you have a paragraph, you ask some guiding. A lot of the thing, you're welcome, Stefan. A lot of these things are kind of working with this part here, which is the right. This button is kind of fairly important for one thing. It's telling the AI in Sudowrite how much creativity you want. So if you put it at the least, it's very good for writing like an essay or a non-fiction book. If you want to get a bit more creativity, you bring it back here. Most people, like when we do like a fiction story, we put it in the middle. But if you're doing a fantasy, something totally out of the ordinary, put it at most, and you're going to get your dragon, fairy tale, and magic, and everything else in the between. So this is how you get the AI to be more creative. The number of cards right here is once we have a story or something and you want to use your laser tools over here, which I'm going to show as we go. These are a number of cards that you can ask the AI when you need some ideas. It's going to give you 1 card, 2 cards, the number of cards you want. We'll put that 2 so you will see when I do an example. Per card, you can also choose the number of words that you want. You can start at 50 all the way to 500 words. So we put it at 200 words for today because it's using a lot too. Next is all our mode. So we have our standard, which, oh, that's funny, they put it a different way because when we go and generate, it's moderate on top. So fastest, obviously, is the word is going to generate something very fast. Moderate is going to take your instruction and really go and follow the instruction almost to the dot. It's going to be most accurate when generating something for you. Best Pros is taking kind of in the middle of those two guys, and he's doing very nice conversation normally, and it's Best Prose. It's very it's depending of your way of writing or what you're writing. The unfiltered, the word say it, it's unfiltered. So if you have violence, sex, things like that, we use this one here because, as you know, if any one of you work with ChatGPT, well, you cannot put sex, you cannot talk about violence. Everyone is happy. At the end of the day, everyone get married and have children, but they don't say anything that happened in the between. So Unfilter lets you do it. Then we have ChatGPT Turbo. These are the experimental model they are using. I'm not going to stay too long on it. This thing, you can test it as you go forward. Next, you can also give more detail to the AI. So if I was like to write a book on meditation, say, okay, I'm writing a book on the meditation, it's absolutely nonfiction. I want it to be at the first person and all that things, you can put it right here that give more details to the AI. If not, like you can see in the example here, the Lieutenant Striker is harboring a dark secret setting Mars. So the AI know it's not on planet Earth, it's on Mars, and he has the name of the main character. So this is how this box work here at the right. But I find it very important. That's always when I start a story, this is one of the first thing I go do, and I make sure that these settings here are set in the right spot. Then we have the rewrite, and this one required quite a few words to start. Number of cards. Oh, that's new. Now we click on it and it's asking you a number of cards. I learned something new today. So now we have the choice. Cool. Describe, obviously, is you're having a bunch of information that you have in your text. You can highlight quite a bit of words. And then you can say, can you please describe the scene? Now, describe is going to use all those if you don't turn them off. It's going to tell you the scene, sight, the smell, the taste, the sound, the touch, and it's going to give you a metaphor. And again, it's going to use your setting here for the number of words is going to pop out. So if you go describe and you forget to turn off these, then you're going to have 6 with the number of words that I put down here. So it's a lot of credit which will go, and maybe you probably don't need it. And on top of that, it's $2 each. So it's quite a bit of credit which will go. So this box, the right box, is very important to go fix your setting. Then we have the brainstorm. The brainstorm is this little page here where you can ask to brainstorm dialogue, character, word building. I'm going to tell you, I don't use that box, but if you find the class for Miss Lynn, please go for it, because Miss Lynn, she started her story with this one. She go and she asks the dialogue. Normally she go with the plot point or things like that, and she says, I want to do a story and give me some idea, things like that. So she comes here and she says, I like a story on, and then it's going to give you choices. So let's see if I put down what I wanted to put down into. So give you a small example. Let's see if it's going to do it over here. We can give them example of what you want also. So let's see what's going to do here. See, he's going to give you idea of stories. So a fantasy adventure following a group of young heroes. And from here, you can say, I like the idea and I don't like the idea. So you can thumbs up or thumbs down. So if you like the fantasy adventure, you thumbs up. It's coming here. The trailer for futurist dystopian, I don't like it. Thumb down. It's going to produce a new one to replace the one you took off. And you can find the idea until you're happy with the idea that you see here. So let's science fiction, put this one up. All right, and then we have the save setting in the bottom. So when you come over here into your main project, as soon as I say save, it brought me to the main project by itself. And these are right here. So your little idea in your brainstorm comes right here. This is not how I start a story. I'm going to show you how I start a story. So the brainstorm, anyone has a question there? Did I miss anything, Tabby? Are you okay with the question in the chat?
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you wanted to just touch on bringing a nonfiction book or if you want me to answer it.
Go ahead.
So she asked if you have a story that you import, what is the best way to instruct it to add to the story with the most accurate way for a nonfiction book?
All right. For one thing, in the 101, we're going to tell you right away, do not bring your story or your nonfiction into Sudowrite until you know how to work with Sudowrite. If not, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to say, oh, that's not working for me. And you're going to spoil all your credit. And on top of that, you're going to have the frustration. So what we say to everyone is start with something brand new that you do not care about, just to play with the button. And I'm going to show you how you can do it if you don't have any idea of what you want to write about. I'm going to show you how Sudowrite can help you to start a story.
And I have to back up Manon on that. I did the same thing. I brought in a project. Don't do it right now. Learn the program, learn how to prompt the AI, and then start bringing in your projects because it is a very complicated program. It doesn't look it, but it really is.
There's so much tools to work with and so many different ways to use it. We call it a workflow. So once you know how to work out in Sudowrite, you're going to produce your own workflow because as, oh, I know what to tell Sudowrite what I want. I know what to put in my little box. And the flow, it's really going to be very, very nice. Once you get it, you're going to say, oh my God, that's a good thing that I learned that way. If not, the frustration, and trust me, I did go through the frustration until Elizabeth West at the time told me, just let's work on a story together, brand new story out of the box. And I said, oh, okay. And that's how I learned Sudowrite, and I learned very quickly. When I took my head off the book I wanted to write about, that went like flawless. I was like learning, open, having fun with it. So this is a big thing to do. And everybody in Sudowrite, every writer that I know use Sudowrite, they all say the same thing. Just start with something brand new that you do not care about and learn this way. All right. So for me here, we got on top here, just keep going with our button. We have the plugin. Yes, I will explain a bit about the credit, which is not an easy thing to explain, but I believe that Nicole had the kind of a description of the credit. Scary. At the start of Sudowrite, everything was by the words. We were paying by words. And in the last month and a half, everyone got switched to credit. And it's not exactly easy to explain because each model is using different amount of credit. So we have some which are cheaper and some which are more expensive. And when I get inside of it, Tabby, can you remind me to tell them about which one is the most expensive and how it works?
Yes, I can do that.
Perfect, thank you. I will also show you in here. Oh, it's not there. Where is my, yeah, right here. Once you get in your project and you start producing prose and things like that, this is one place you can go and find when you did a brainstorm, how many credits you use. This is the best way to tell you about the credit, actually, how it works, look how many words you generate and go against the generate that I was used. And this one is the turbo, and I will tell you when I get in there which one is more expensive and which one is in the middle and things like that. But this is the page where to go to see how much credit you're using per box. So it's the best way to explain to you how to look at your credit is really this part here, because it's very hard to we cannot match word per credit because each model different amount of credit per model on top of it. Okay. The plugin that everyone has access. These are writers and people who works at Sudowrite who says, okay, we need a plugin to spice up a writing, have better beats, darken your personnage, character. For me, you're going to find me under multi-language, and as you can see, we have Germany, Italian, French. So mine are all with that little flag, Canadian flag and the French flag. So people who use the plugin, they're going to be in French. And obviously we have other plugins. So this is a place where you can go check. Once you know more about Sudowrite, you can go and say something is missing in Sudowrite, I like to go. Just click here and search on what you like to have some help with to write your story and see if someone made the plugin. Click on the plugin, see what they're using, what they do, follow the instruction, and you'll be fine. If not, go into our program for speaking to all of us, the Discord, and ask questions. Someone will answer you very quickly. I hope that's explained a little bit very fast the credit for you. Okay, let's go back in my project here. So when I start a story on someone who never started a story before, you can start the way that Miss Lynn is doing it. Or for me, I like to go into like a bit like Nicole. So I go into a new project. Normally the project is up, and I go into the plugin. In the bottom of the plugin, you have what we call first draft. Click on the first draft. And here you can do your mystery, your nonfiction, character development, research, and your outline. So that's from here that I like to ask Sudowrite. I like to have 5 stories. And this one was a question I asked also at with ChatGPT, and I wanted the genre. So let's see what Sudowrite can do for us. So it's giving me 5 ideas of stories. And we can choose one of them. We have the magical realms, the cyberpunk noir, the historical fiction, the psychological thriller, or dystopian adventure. The world building, character development, and creating a story structure. As we go, yes, Milan, maybe not everything in the 101, but tomorrow we're going to keep going, and you'll see how we build the whole story to make, at the end, you have a book that also needs editing and works on it. But yes, we're going to go through the whole situation that you are asking. No, it doesn't give the same idea to everyone. I can ask the question 5 times. I'm going to have 5 different stories each time. It's not going to write the same story, even if you have everything in the box the same, then Tabby and me. Well, Tabby will have a different story. I'm going to have a different story, and you're going to have a different story. They may have some similarity, but the AI never write twice the same thing. Okay, so this is how you can go and find other story with Sudowrite. You can go in ChatGPT, and also we have, I believe we have a new, that's under beta, right? The chatting, Tabby, it's on the beta, right? Pretty sure it's on the beta. Okay.
Which one is?
The chat with it, the CTLK.
Yeah, it's just in beta so far.
Something is coming up the pipe. In a few months, you'll have another tools that you can play with, which is a great tool. All right, so this is one way to start a story. Again, this is into the plugin. As soon as you have a program open or a project open, you cannot get the first draft anymore. You always have to have a new project with nothing in it to get it to first draft. As you can see also under here, you can simulate reader experience. That's a plugin. First draft is the one I just said. Shrink ray is for shrinking a paragraph or a chapter, or I'm not sure how many words we can put under shrink ray, but it's going to shrink it. If you want to add a twist to your story, it's also over here. If you want to work on character, it's right here. If you want to write a poem, it's going to help you, no problem, on poem, the topic, the title. You can get a few lines of idea, and it's going to write a poem for you. So this is our first draft there, the poem, then visualize. I'm going to show you a visualize work as we go. That one is going to produce a picture for you. Sorry, was that an integration with ChatGPT? Yeah, I believe it's an integration with ChatGPT, the CTRL-K, but with a bit less blocking. Thank you, Tabby. All right, so I showed you how to ask for stories. You can bring your own story the same way into first draft and ask the same thing. Say first draft, this is an idea of a story, and you write everything in first draft. Click go, and it's going to build you a very good idea of a story with everything you throw at it. That's also another way. There's so many ways, it's very hard to wrap our head about all the situation you can go through on how to write a story. As we go lower here, now we have some idea of story. We could go directly into Story Bible. And we can also ask the same thing in Story Bible that you want to write 5 story, and it's going to do it too. One more place to go for starting a story, it's Canva or Canvas. Okay, it has a bunch of explanation when you come in. You can go for and look at it. For me, I'm going to see if I can move this. We don't need these things. I don't know if we can delete them. Okay, there you go. Delete. So the card here, you can put a title of your project. You can actually put notes in it of what you want to write about. This is really like a sticky note on the board. So you can put, I don't have access. There you go. Give me access, please. There we go. You can write your title. You can put your character. You can put your style. This is really like a little block note. You can go down. This one is a label. This one is a label. Now here, this is the one which you can start a brand new story also. You click on this one, which is the 1, 2, 3. In the 1, 2, 3, they're going to give you access to this here. You can choose your outline, what kind of book you want to write about. You can use the hero journey. So any story with a main protagonist who undergoes a transformative change. Which one? Can you tell me, Tabby, which one is not muted? If you can please mute it.
I found them. I got it, Manon. I'm sorry, it just took me a second to find them.
Yeah, and I cannot see it with when I have my video on. It's hard to get. Thank you so much, Tabby. You can choose your Hollywood beat. It's a clear story that focuses on protagonists overcoming obstacles to achieve a goal and restore balance to chaotic situation. The example is you can compare it to Save the Cat. You can check here what kind of story out there that look like the Hollywood beat. And you can see here we have Toy Story, Woody and all that. It's basically using the Hollywood beats. Story circle, which is very good for children's stories. The story that have a universal theme and follow a circular narrative structure with beginning, middle, and an end are all connected at the end. And they give you the example of other books, stories, movies, and then obviously the romance outline. So do I have to say what the romance outline is? I think we all get that one too. And they give you example. So depending on what you want to write about, you can choose the outline that you want to write with. So let's go with this one. And here we're going to give a small idea to this. Because I'm in this one, I'm going to go get this here. Going to tell him I like to have this story here, which is in a Quentin historic town, an elderly college student stumbled upon an ancient family heirloom. Little do they know that this artifact holds the key to a centuries-old mystery that will take them on a thrilling journey, overcoming hidden secrets and encountering unexpected twists at every turn. So I'm going to bring this little thing that I just copied. I'm going to bring it here. All right. And I can say generate a full outline. So it's going to generate this outline. In the corner here, you have your buttons. You can get the screen bigger or smaller. You can undo and redo. So it's right there in the small corner just in case. So you can do your whole outline. You can ask Sudowrite to do it for you. Or if you have your own story and you say, I know what's going to happen in every box, you can fill up by yourself also. The only thing on filling up your own box, if you have this one, you says, I have an idea of what I want in this story, and you do it. But all the other one, you says, I don't know what's going to happen. And he says, I'm going to generate an outline. The box you just filled up is going to be deleted and it's going to be replaced by the new generation. So the first thing to do, if you do this way, you just go and says, okay, I'm going to leave Sudowrite to do my outline. You go generate full outline. And I'm not going too deep in all the explanation where you can put the style, the genre, the voice, and you can add character and everything else. I don't want to go too deep on the 101 because it's going to be overwhelming, but we'll go deeper tomorrow and even more deeper on the 301, which is the next day. So this is the outline that is giving me from the little paragraph I give Sudowrite. So it says the hero is on the story is Maria Santiago. So you give a name. Her name is Maria. She's 20 years old, college student who has just returned to her hometown in Eldrig after completing her first year as a student to spend the most of her day working at her family bakery, engaging into hanging out with her friend at the local coffee shop. And you can see that he brought every box. So the call adventure, the refusal of the call, she's thinking, well, maybe I should not. The meeting with a mentor, so it's like this got someone coming and giving her some suggestion. See why we have an evil sorcerer in the story. The crossing of the threshold, so she's going to go to her adventure after listening to the mentor. There's tests going on, so the ally, the enemy. So you can see the idea of the whole story. If you're happy with it and you like it, you just go at the 3 dots over here and you copy the outline to the clipboard. So if I go and copy, I go back to the little house. So we're going back into our first screen. We go back in our program. We go on to the untitled, or you create a new folder and you just hit LV and you just pass the whole outline into Sudowrite. From this here, it's going to give you a title. And from this, you can start using all those plugins on top, the laser tool, or you can work out, says, okay, I really like to change things on this part of over here, or says, I need more information. As you can see, as I highlight my first little paragraph, as I like more information, it's giving me these things. I can go rewrite. I can ask for much more description. And remember, if you do the description, make sure which one you want. Sometimes you don't really want what the scene tastes like. So you just go and, so I like to just make sure the taste, normally I don't want the smell. So if I go and I ask, it's going to give me the sight and the sound in the scene. All right, so if I like this, and it says give me more description, you can see on the side over here, it's going to give me description, it's writing. So remember I told you it's going to give me the number of words, and it gave me a card because we have a new thing here about changing the number of cards. So it's giving me idea on the site of Maria San Diego, 20 years old, a college student. So it's giving more information about the site and how she sounded. Apparently, as she walked down the street, the sound of bird chirping in the distance, chatter of people. So you understand how it works. So when you want more information or more description to a scene, just go and ask describe and choose which one you want. Then you can also expand. If you click expand on the same little paragraph, it's going to go and expand. And it's going to expand quite a bit because now it's building up the story. So from the little outline, we almost have our first chapter. We have, I don't see my number of words. Mm-hmm. Now when you see the words, I don't see them. All right. So basically it's giving me, Maria woke up to the sound of her alarm going off. So we know she's, from the little paragraph here, that's an introduction. So he's using the first paragraph and he's doing the introduction of Maria. The bunny was small coffee shop. As Maria walked to the beanery, she spots Sarah. So we have a second personage or character in the story. And your little few words here, which is 50 words here, became, and as you can see, when I ask about the writing here in my setting, I ask for 200 words. So my sentence or my little paragraph here is not finished. It says Maria hesitated for a moment before finally deciding to tell them about the strange encounter. Where's the rest? But because I told it to just use 200 words instead of 500, if I put 500, you probably would have finished the whole thing. It stopped at 200 words. So see, it's not a glitch. It's really, go check your little setting that you ask at the start. Okay. All right. So any question this far on this little button? All right. Let's go a little bit deeper. Am I going too fast? Anything? Because we need to make sure that you understand how we're going. All right. I think we're good. So we have our starting here. And what I'm going to do here is my little paragraph here is start me a story. And I'm going to use it. I'm going to say insert this. And this also at the same time that I'm saying I'm doing that, these little thumbs up and thumbs down, use them. If the what been generate over here, yeah, I'm sorry, HP. So I will try to go slower. Any question that I went over too fast for you that I can help you now? Okay. So you can copy, you can put it in a project on the side. You can work in Page, Microsoft Word, Google Drive, Google Document, all this, the program you're using to build your books or keep your notes safe, you copy and you bring it in. Or here we can insert, and it's going to be in purple. As soon as you start changing something or accepting something, you're supposed to change in black. There we go. So meaning that you're good, then it's been fixed, or you're working on it, it changed color. This is, if I'm happy with it, I say, yes, I'm happy. That tells Sudowrite that the tools that I use did give me what I want, and it's great. If you go thumbs down, they will notice something wrong, and then they will look at it. Sometimes we do a lot of laser tool. We don't use everything, but we says, oh, I really like it, but it doesn't work in that story. It will work in another story. Click on the star. When you click on the star, you have that little button here. You can come back to it and says, oh, in that story I did like it, it's going to stay here. It's not going to disappear. Normally this thing doesn't disappear, but the star, it's easier to find because sometimes you may have quite a bit of laser tool that you use on the side, and it's very hard to find the one that you want to find. But if you put the star, it says, oh yes, this is a story I wanted to write next time. So this is how to get to them. All right. Okay.
So if you do thumbs down, does it notify one of the team? Somebody gets back to you. Is that the process, or is it just for your own reference? No, just for your own reference.
This one is for our own reference, and it does make a flag at Sudowrite. But once we go into a story, like in here in our story Bible, and we do the thumbs up, thumbs down, normally we have a small email format coming out, and you can write down what goes wrong. Does Sudowrite understand the continuity of a story behind developed? Generating text in an outline is great, but as the word for the story is behind developed, is it completely up to the writer? There's many ways to answer this question, Milan, but one favorite one that I have is you are in control of your story at all time. You tell Sudowrite what you want. Doesn't mean that he's going to understand what you want in the first shot. It's not a crystal ball. He doesn't see what's going on in our head. Because sometimes we think, oh yes, this is the story I want to write. It makes sense to you, and you click enter, and Sudowrite comes out with something totally not what you want, and says, what happened? And sometimes it's just the way that you write what you want, which make the story not what you wanted. And for someone who works with non-fiction, it is obvious that the AI doesn't know what happened to your grandfather. So you really have to bring your story in. And the best way is obviously with the one I showed you. You bring your story into a new document, you put your information down, and you use the laser tools, and you develop your story that way to stay in full control. The other one is obviously our story Bible. This one here is basically, I'm going to take everything in this box, and I'm going to use it as a brainstorm. Come on. All right. So this is the outline that I did in Canvas, plus my little start of story in my part 1 of the story that I copy from my Describe. I'm going to go in the story Bible under brainstorm, and I'm going to put it in my brainstorm. This is the start of the whole book, the idea. Brainstorm, you have 2,000 words that you can use. You can put everything that you know, everything that you want about your story. If you already have a story, a short story written, you can bring it into the brainstorm, and from there you can write through the whole story Bible, your book, your story. This is really what they call it, the brainstorm. The word means what it is. It's your brainstorm to do your story. Any question on the brainstorm? All right. The genre. So we know that this one is, I'm going to move this over. So the one we choose here, it's a mystery thriller. This is the genre we have started with today. You put it down here in your genre. You can put that, or you can put a space between. This also use your words and some credit. I'm not sure about if they know how many credit you use per time you fill up your genre box. You have a lot of information here too. Each of your box have a small interrogation point beside it, and it's telling you exactly what the box is for. So your brainstorm is the complete free-form box. You can put everything you know about your story. So I'm repeating, but it's right there for you to see. is going to affect the synapses and your beats. Everyone knows what a synapsis is, and we're going to do it like very, very, very soon, like in the next 2 minutes. The beats is going to be a bit later once the outline is done. I'm going to show you about the beats. The genre is going to affect your outline, your beats, and your prose. Again, beats and prose gets a bit farther down. It might be not today that we see them. You have a small idea, but tomorrow, definitely we're going to be in the beats and the prose and getting everything tied up together. And on the 301, we'll go even deeper. I'm not going to do the style box. I'm going to wait to have a bit more information about the story because it's not my personal information. Remember, we did ask Sudowrite or ChatGPT to give us some idea for stories. So we don't know. We know it's a mystery thriller, but we don't know more than that. We read a bit through it. And this is the right story, is it? Yeah, good. So I have my breakdown that I got from my Outlook, which I did in Canvas. There is that little part, which I don't see here. So my Maria part is not there. How come? All right, copy. I want it here because I want all that information in there. So she's Hero, Maria San Diego, enter there. I want you to write to have as much information we have from what the little bit we did together into the first page. All right. So I'm going to say from the brain dump, from the outline I brought to you, from the first little description of the first character, please give me a synopsis of what the story could look like. You come over here and you click generate. And as you can see, the synopsis is based on the brainstorm and the genre. So if those two boxes are filled up, it's going to give you a synopsis that should reflect everything you wrote on top. So let's generate our synopsis. In the meantime, any question I can answer or I miss into the chat, Tabby?
Nope, I think you're doing good so far.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, so we have synopsis. I always find the synopsis very, very short. We have 800 words, and it's rarely that I saw a synopsis going at 800 words. That one is like between 300 and 500 word synopsis. But it took our outline, our little bit of conversation we had with it, and it says, okay, this is what I think the story should look like. So in a charming town of Edridge, Maria San Diego lead a simple life as a college student and part-time baker at her family bakery. Her day consists of knitting dough and sipping fruity tea with her friend at la beanery. Some of the stuff is French in there and interesting. But everything changed when she discovered an ancient family heirloom in the attic of her house. The necklace bear a mysterious symbol that transport Maria to another familiar world, gets setting off a thrilling adventure for hidden secret and unexpected twists. So the frightening and the confusion, and Maria tried to remove the necklace, but it stuck on her neck, so she tried it on. So from there, a lot of adventure is going to happen to her as she begins her quest. Maria faced numerous tests, overcoming obstacles with the help of her newfound animal allies. So it's going to be really fiction. So for her bravery, Maria is bestowed with magical staff and hailed a hero by the people of Eldoria. So Maria's journey is not only brought peace to Eldoria, but also taught her valuable lesson about courage, friendship, and power of believing. So we have a pretty good story here. Very good start of a story. The synopsis is interesting. So it's not complicating our life because I told you we are on a 101. As you learn how to use it, you're going to be able, you can, like I said, you are responsible. You are always in control of your story. If something in the synopsis you don't like, you can change it. You can add it. You can delete it. You can manipulate the story totally your own way. Okay. You can also write here, you can ask to rewrite the synopsis if you're not pleased with it. Says, oh, I like more horror into it. Says, please rewrite with more horror into the story. And you click rewrite, it's going to do it for you. It's going to write a brand new synopsis with horror, including the style, mystery, and thriller. And at that point, if you want more horror, I also suggest that you put it in your genre. I want a story which is mystery, thriller, and horror. You put it right here. Let's keep going. All right, so we have Maria, and we have her friend. We know where they are, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be more people. So Elijah, Doria, we have some talking animals, so we're going to have to correct quite a few of character. So if you're happy with your synopsis, we're happy with everything else, we just says, okay, well, let's meet our character. Your character is been generated based on the synopsis. It's going nowhere else apparently. It's just look at your synopsis. It's going to extract all the character that you see. And when you think it needs more character to build a full story, it's going to add character. So let's go and generate our character. Everything that the AI do for you, every word generated by the AI costs credit. So we have Maria San Diego that we know about. We have Alicia, a wise and mysterious old man with a long white beard and piercing blue eyes. Do you want to talk about our words which keep repeating and names coming back to us all the time, Tabby?
Right. So that is unfortunately one of the limitations of AI is you have a tendency to it gets what we call the AI cliches. You'll get stuck with like the same names. You always get wavy brown hair, warm brown eyes, and then piercing blue eyes.
Cliches.
Yeah, just those are our cliches and we make fun of them all the time. So if just be aware that you might like piercing blue eyes and maybe it fits your character. There's nothing wrong with that, but just be warned that a lot of people it kind of shows that it's been AI generated if you keep sticking those same terms in there, if that makes sense.
Thank you. All right. All right, so we have our character. We have 392 words. So we have Maria Legia, the Wicked Witch, Theo, Luna. That's when you write children books, Luna is coming back often. If you do vampire, Alicia is going to show up often. Amelia is common in many, many different genres. Jasper is one of the first time I see it in one of my story. Ingrid too. The AI, I realized that the AI is actually learning from our writing because this word here, Ingrid, is one of my writer and one of my very dear friend that we write together. And this is the first time he brought it in because I start writing a book with her and somehow the AI catch it up because he brought it into that story. So the AI is learning as you write your story, the character you're using, your style of writing is learning. All right, so we have our character. So we have Theo, Luna, a wise and gentle talking owl. So we have a lot of fantasy in that story. Lots. Jasper is a confident and sportive college student. And then Ingrid is Maria, loving and dedicated mother with long brown hair and a warm brown eyes. So anything into your character box, if you know your personage, your character personally, you can go and change them. You can say for one thing, which one has a piercing blue eyes or to do hair, brown, warm brown. That's not bad. Normally it's piercing. So here, piercing. This word, if you leave it in, when you're doing your prose, is going to bring it back. So if he says, oh, Elijah is looking at Maria with his piercing blue eyes. If you wonder why I keep bringing the piercing, that's because it's in the character box. So normally we go and delete that because we can add that ourselves if we want a sentence where he has piercing blue eyes or different color eyes. So like you see, I'll delete it, and you can go and add things. You can have long hair. You can put this zodiac sign. You can also use our plugin, which can give you a character description. So that's the one I made here. I can take a character. I go click here. So if I take, let's say we take Alicia. Now they still don't work in the box. We have to bring them on the side, right? Just make sure. No, it works in the box. Okay. So I highlighted Alicia. I use the plugin, the one I did, and it says hi character name and description, because I want to know more about Alicia. Because remember, it's not me who did the story. I just asked for idea, but now it's in my hands to get that story developed. So it's giving me the whole thing here. So I asked for Alicia, and it's giving me Maria. So I'm going to have to go fix my plugin. Okay. All right, so basically it's telling me about Maria, even though I did highlight Alicia. He went at the end of the cursor, I guess, and he decided to use Maria. So it's giving me the personality of Maria. So those plugins, they're all over here. You can go and explore like I showed earlier. So you just saw how one plugin works. You can make this, it's infinite, everything you can do with plugin, and you can make your own plugin once you know Sudowrite. You can go in. I'm going left and right because we're thinking about things as we go, but you can go and create your own plugin. Once you're a paid member, you have access to that too, as far as I know, unless I missed something. Let's go back in. Okay, let's keep going on our story Bible. So we have our synopsis, we have our character, and then from here, if you say, all right, I like where it's going, I like the synopsis, I like the character, you did all the change you want, it says, okay, let's get an outline, because you need an outline to make a book. If by any chance, once in the future, it says, I know I've worked with Sudowrite and I know what I want to do, you can import and put your own template. So basically, when you click so insert template, is going to fill it up with Act 1, chapter, blah, 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 like that. And you can add, say, okay, you can put your own information, like the story of my granddad. And then you can say chapter 1, he was born, and you see what I'm talking about. So you can do your own chapter by chapter. You can build your own outline. You can also bring an outline from other books into this, and you don't have to click generate an outline because you brought your own. All right. Once your own is there, do not go and click generate an outline because this one will go away. But if it does go away, and I'm going to show you that right now, I'm going to get it to generate an outline for me. Just like, wait a sec before I do that. You can choose your outline. The same thing than in Canva, but you have more here. You have the novel outline, which is most of us is using to make our novels, like example, Sherlock Holmes novels, a series. It's very good to use the novel outline. You can read everything up here, the length of the story that focus on the theme setting, the trope, and a particular genre. The hero's journey. I'm not going to repeat everything that I said in Canvas, but this is the same thing. The Hollywood beats, the story circle, and the romance outline. So we'll go with the novel for this one. Use the novel outline, which is the default, and you can go and click generate. So you'll know that your outline is taking the aspect is generating on the genre, the synopsis, and the character. And you said, remember when I said I don't do my style as yet? Because it doesn't even use the style yet. Because I want to see what it's going to do in my prose. And if I like the way it's written, or if I change my mind and says I don't like it at the third person or the first person, that's where you go in your style and says, okay, I want my story at the first person, past, present, future, and you go and change it. It's also, as it's moving, So yeah, this is basically, and it gives you the how it worked to do the outline. So generate based on the genre, synopsis, and character. So he's doing my outline right now. So introducing Maria. So we know that because we did ask in Canva to do it, and he did give us. But this one's going to be more detailed than the first outline we did. So I'm going to try to accelerate a little bit, but not too much because we're already an hour in. But we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. So this is the outline going. So it's introducing Maria, the inciting incident. So while cleaning the attic, she finds that necklace, the heirloom, which gets stuck on her neck. On the chapter 3 is the call to action. So she's frightened and confused when she tries to remove the necklace and she cannot remove it. So she meets an old man named Elijah who explained that the necklace belonged to the guardians of the land and that she must embark on a journey to restore the balance and save the kingdom from the evil sorcerer. So on the chapter 4, she's meeting a mentor. Well, she already met it. He already talked to her. So you see, these things, sometimes you can go and fix them because the person who tell her about that, it's Alicia. So meeting the mentor will go kind of here. So the AI is great, but not always perfect. So Elijah is the wise and mysterious man, becoming Maria's mentor, guiding her through the journey of self-discovery and growth. He helped her navigate the magical land of Eldoria, filled with vibrant color and talking animals. Then the Act 2, the investigation. First challenge, Maria faced her first significant obstacle when she encountered a treacherous bridge that she must cross and reach the other side of Eldoria. With Alicia guidance, she mustered the courage to overcome this challenge. Chapter 6, she's gathering friends and allies. Then 7, she's exploring, and you can see every step of your books all the way to chapter 23. So the world building at the end. So she saved, and you have, I guess, to rebuild the whole place. But this is your outline. Any question this far that I miss, or someone likes to? Everybody is happy with the explanation. I try to go a bit slower, but it's very exciting for us to try to show you the software. It's so big. We want to show you so much, but every single one of us have different way to teach. This is my way of teaching. Nicole have a different way to teach. Miss Lynn have a different way to teach, and Tabby. So we all have our own workflow, and this is why it's important to go see as many classes as you can, so you can see all our workflow and choose the one that you are more comfortable with. So I will not go in the second language because I'm kind of really like to tell you about it, but I will stay in English today. But if someone needs another language, the part here is very important that I talk to you on how to do it, or go into Discord and go under French or international, where I explain in detail how to get this part working in other language, because in other language, the AI doesn't get it. Can I ask this act 1, 2, 3 into save the cat, beat, cheat, then how? Save the cat. So if you don't like the outline that they give you, you can come back here and save the cat. I believe is the hero or the Hollywood. That's the Hollywood one. So
it's the Hollywood, yeah.
Yeah. So you can come back here. It says I don't like the novel outline. He says I want save the cat outline. So okay, you go back, Hollywood, and you generate a brand new one. After it generates, I'm going to show you how to go back. It says, oh, I don't like, or I like to kick bash. Basically put one part of the outline with the other one. You can do that. You can just go back and forth, and I will show you that when it's finished to do the second outline, which is under save the cat, because we cannot touch anything else during that time. No, we don't have access. So that's the other thing. Once something is starting generated, you cannot move out of that window and do something else. You can go and check these things, but you cannot do anything else with the other window. So you have to be patient and wait until the AI finish. So if we look at the Save the Cat, we have our universal theme. The theme of courage and self-belief is introduced when Maria discovered an ancient family heirloom. The story problem, Maria's life take an unexpected turn when she put the necklace on. The spark, Maria tried to remove it and she figured out it's stuck. Then too many options. As Maria explored Edoria, she encountered talking animals, Theo, a brave fox, and Luna, a wise owl. They become her allies. First choice, so she chose Maria, Theo, and Luna choose a path and lead them through the treacherous forest filled with dark creatures. Then the rising action. Additional character comes into the story. Argus, who become a key ally to the battle against the sorcerer. In a new life, Maria and her friends face numerous challenges as they navigate the danger of Eldoria. They encounter magical creature, enchanted landscape, and obstacle. The false ending, Maria and her friend finally reach the sorcerer's inner cave, believe that they are prepared for the downtown. However, they are ambushed by the wicked witch and her army of dark creature. So a change of circumstance, the reset of the progress, the climax and the conclusion. So the rock bottom area and her allies face their darkest hours. The better choice as the battle rage on, Maria reflect on her journey and the lesson as she learned about courage, friendship, and self-belief. Embracing the truth, she relies on her allies and leads them to daring attack against the wicked witch. So the attack and the story problem. And then at the end, they normally always win. If you don't want the story to finish like everyone is happy getting married and having children, you got to let the AI know. The one place to let them know, you can go in your brainstorm and says, not everyone will survive. This story doesn't finish well. You can even tell it right there how you want the story to finish. Now, be careful when you do that. The AI is like a 6 years old. If you tell a 6 years old a secret and it says, don't tell anyone, then you know by 15 minutes later, everyone in the house knows. The AI is the same thing. It's going to tell you at the end of chapter 1 or chapter 2 who killed or who did what. You'll find out right away. So this is this is one of the things. Can I ask this act 1, 2, 3 and to save the cat? I think I answered that. Ask a particular chapter to change then. What do you mean by ask a particular chapter to change?
I think he's asking that if he didn't like one of the chapters in the actual outline, can it just rewrite that chapter?
Absolutely. In the outline, you can say, let's see, too many options. Let's see if I don't like this part here. There's too many options. I can ask to rewrite. It's going to give me one card. Remember, the rewrite will be based on this part here. I'm going to put it at the most creative. I'm going to change the number of letters to 500. I'm going to choose for this one. What will be good for that? I would say the best prose would be better for a fantastic story. Most accurate is where he's going to follow everything line by line. Any idea, Tabby? Best prose? For fantasy.
Yeah. I would probably do best prose, yep.
Yeah. All right, so let's see if I want to change which one I said there, the most too many option. I want this one to be rewrite. And I changed that already, so I go rewrite. Please highlight passage. Okay, so this is one of the one we cannot rewrite inside the box. When I said earlier that sometimes these work, the plugin work, but the laser tool, it doesn't. Where's the too many option? Did I copy? Because when I ask to rewrite, select a sentence, description with famous transformation. Please highlight passage. Okay, we have a little glitch. Don't stop there. you want this to be redone, go here, add new, a blank document. Pass the little outline that you don't like and want to be rewrite and rewrite right here. Now it's going to pop this one here. You can rephrase, make it shorter, more descriptive, show, not tell, more inner conflict, more intense, or you can customize. If you know exactly what you want in this little chapter that you want to change, you can tell it how to do it. So if we want to do it more trailer into this, you just say, I want it to be rewrite with more trailer, and just click go. And it's going to rewrite with more trailers. So as Maria delved deeper into the mysterious land of Eldoria, she stumbled upon talking animals, Theo, a cunning fox, Luna, an all-knowing owl. Despite their kind appearance, they warned her of the treacherous paths that lead to the sorcerer lair. Each path represents, so there's more trailer. It's more than what we have here. Do you understand what it's doing? So if you like this paragraph more than the original one you had in your outline, you copy. You can tell them, yes, I love this. It's working. You can insert it to save it. So you insert it. And if you had something already highlighted, it's going to replace it. Now, if you want to go back, in every document, you have this little clock. You can come back. You can see the original one. I can say restore. So the original is restore. I can make my space and I can go, okay, now you can insert because I wanted to keep my original there and see the modified underneath. In every one of your box, you have that little clock and you can come back and forth to go back to your project, see something, copy something, bring it in. All right. So in my outline, it says, okay, I got this too many option, this part here. I bring this part over here and I just change my chapter 5 with more description of what more I wanted. I hope that answers your question, HP. So now we have our outline. You know, again, always in control. You can transform, you can change name, do it before it's too late, because sometimes when you get 3 chapters written and you say, well, I don't like Maria, I prefer Julia. Well, you have to go and click up on your edit, find, and check your selection and replace every single one of them. And when you have a whole book written and you decide to do that, it's a lot of work. And sometimes you miss one. All right, so our outline is done. We're happy with it. Let's see if we can generate our first chapter. So we're going to bottom. This is all the chapters which are in the outline. Your outline again, this is how it works. This is very important to have these words exactly as it is at the interrogation point here. So act 1, ... chapter 1, ... It's very important to have those. That's how the AI understand. Create your chapter 1. And now you get into the beats. Remember earlier I told you about the beats? This is the beats. The beat is basically chapter 1 breakdown. So every step that's going to happen in your chapter 1. So introducing Maria, introducing the bakery, introducing the friends, the people, the client is going to get a breakdown in beats. So, and the beat is getting them from the brain dump, the genre. And this is the first time that you're going to see your style. So you could get your style written from what you know about the story. You could, and I'm going to show you because I'm waiting to get one of the chapter written. And if I like it, I'm going to take it and get this, the style from there. This is my workflow. Remember, other writers have different workflow. So it's going to go with this. So genre, style, synopsis, character, and the outline. So to do the beats is using pretty much everything. and you can see your first chapter 1. If you miss something, if something is missing before you create your beats, you can read it as, oh, something is missing. You can come back in your outline, fix it. Then you go back into your chapter 1, which you can go this way, and it's going to get to it. Let's see, we are happy with our chapter 1. We just want the whole thing to be generate and see what that looks like. You don't have a lot of choice on this one, it's just generate your beats. Doing is generate the beats. Once you're very used to Sudowrite, and or you have story that you already produced, written in a book or somewhere, you already have your beats for your chapter, you bring them in. You just bring them in, copy them inside. And then as long as you have the number 1, it's going to work. Each time you do a enter, a space on the between your beats is going to consider that as a number. So if there was no number 2 here and there's a return of carriage, it knows that's number 2. And how you know how your beats work, at the bottom of the beats, you can check them. And here you can see all the same beats that there is on top. But if I was to remove 2 and 3, just make sure you understand, go back in my beats and check my beats. Well, 2 and 3 are there because there's a return of carriage. So it's going to put them up. Now, tomorrow I'm going to explain more about the beats, how to put explanation to the AI on one things you want to change, but I'm not going to go there today in the 101, but tomorrow I will. So this is my beat. So introducing Maria San Diego as Knit the Dough, Bustling Kitchen, show Maria talking, break from her work, meeting up with her friend. So remember we have number 2 here, I deleted, but it's there. You can also go and make space for you. That's easier for you to look and read and make changes. Yes, there is a lot of information in the first class. That's why we record them. But I will not go very much more far than that. I will generate the first 2 prose and I will stop for today. And tomorrow we're going to keep going and I'm going to show you how to tell the AI a few things and how to develop the story and a lot more information on how to work every tools we have as we write the book. Okay. The important things to know here is the prose that are generated here, they work in pair. So the introduction and showing Maria with her friends going to be written in the first prose together. And this one will be together, together, together. This is in pair. Let's see, we are happy with that. We're not going to change it today to go too deep into how to fix your beats. We'll work on that tomorrow and on the next class after that. So your prose, once you're happy with your beats, it's based on your genre, your style, your character, and this chapter beats is not going to go in chapter 2, 3, 4, 10, 24. It's only this, which means once you do a chapter 1 and you go to chapter 2, you're going to read chapter 1 and says, oh my God, the story is good and it's finished on a cliffhanger. And you get to chapter 2 and it says, wait a sec, where's my cliffhanger? Because it's starting, which you wrote in the outline in chapter 2. The AI decided at some point that we're going to finish with a cliffhanger, or you put it down in your description, in your brain dump or your genre or somewhere here that you want every chapter to finish with a cliffhanger. But here it doesn't know there is a cliffhanger. So you're going to have to figure out a way to link them up and edit your chapter that they make sense. The story makes sense when you look at it, but if you invented a cliffhanger that you have no control over it, but you like it, you have to find a way to start your chapter 2 on that cliffhanger that the story makes sense. All right, and that's also going to be tomorrow on the 301. We're going to go deep on that. All right, so let's see. We're going to start generating, again, another button which has a lot of information. These are our model. Most accurate will use everything you write in there with a lot of details. It's going to try to make sense of everything there. It's going to be very accurate, and it's slow. Very good for nonfiction, very good for serious book. It's a serious model. I call it the serious model. The best prose is great for a conversation. It's going to generate faster. It's going to be more, I call it a bit farfelu. So best prose is, it's a nice, it used to be my favorite until they introduced balance. As you can see, smart, yet is also cost effective. So it's basically like most accurate mixed with best prose, and sometimes it's most accurate mixed with unfiltered. So balance is my favorite one. It works beautifully for me for the type of story that I'm writing. Most accurate is the most expensive one. Is using ChatGPT-4, the last version that they can actually use on Sudowrite, and it's the most expensive one. Best Prose is a little bit cheaper. The cost efficient is balance. Faster, like they say, well, if you go and generate on fastest, it's going to go fast. You got dizzy. The unfiltered is the one that uses sex, violence, and horror. And yes, you can write at the first person. Tabby, what the tricks to write at the first person with unfiltered?
So to get it to write in first person, put the hyphen between first hyphen and then person. So it's first hyphen person when you put it in your style box. Or if you put it in your headers or your beats, make sure you add that hyphen, and unfiltered will write in first person for you. We're not sure why it needs that hyphen, but if you, it's like combining it into one word. If you hyphenate that word, it unfiltered will work.
All right, thank you, Tabby. All right, then we have the experimental one that you can use. I'm not going to go too deep today because it's too much information on the 101, but as we go down, we're going to give more information. And like I said, there's a lot of class that can help you on that. I will start with balance is my favorite, and I'm going to generate the first prose to give you an example of what it looks like. When you do that, you can click on pause. So you have time to read between the prose. So it's going to give you a Maria San Diego and move with practice and ease, pressing, folding, spalled dough, flower the woods. Then she's having conversation. So this is one of the things I like with that, because you don't have to write or read like 3 or 4 paragraphs before you have some action. There's some conversation. So perfect. Maria whispered to herself, a small satisfied smile playing on her lips as she shaped the dough into a round loaf. Maria, take 5, her mother called out and said, thanks, Mama. So Maria replied, whipping the flour dust off her hands on her apron. So, hey, Maria, greet her with affection and grin, her curly blonde head. Who is it? Oh, Amelia. So Amelia say, hey, Maria. So she's meeting her friend for her break. This is the balance. And we got they share a smile. So not too bad. I will also go into the document later, and I'm going to copy everything in document. So tomorrow you have access to all of it too. Lots of information. It's already 12 p.m. in India. I have to go to bed. Good night. See you back tomorrow. So this is how we start a story. And we could go and choose every single one of those, one after the other. So as an example, now I got because I tried to go faster because we're already an hour and a half and people are needing to go and do. So I'm going to ask you people, do you want me to keep going and do a few of those generation? Or we all come back tomorrow and we go deeper into the story and all the other setting? You can unmute, you can talk, you can ask question. I think we can go deeper tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Perfect. That's perfect with me too. These are very long class, a lot of information. So I hope that during tonight or during the day, you're going to go and play with it. If you have question tomorrow, come back with your question. We'll be happy to answer your question. We'll go deeper. We'll show you how to do a few chapters, how to modify, how to fix your character and everything else. And on the 301, we'll go even deeper and more details and more questions. How many pages can you get with chapter 1? Page. I will not say it's page, but I can tell you we can get between 2 to 7,000 words per chapter, depending on what you're writing about, depending on your beats. You can get some of my short story for children are between 3,500 to 6,000 words for a short story for children. Does that answer your question, Stefan? Yeah, that too. That's the technical terms that we use can give between 100 and 300 words per beat, but I'm not basing myself on that too much because some of my beats are very detailed, some of my stories. Will the software generate the entire words count in one flow? Your word counts are always here. Each day, you can look how many words, how many credits you use, or you click here and you can see in this session together, this is everything that we generate with every credit used. For the chapter 2, 7,000 words. I'm not sure what you mean by the 7,000 words, but everything is described right here. So for every generation, for every rewrite, generate the outline, the novel, even the plugin, it's very breakdown. When the chapter is generated, does it produce the entire word count in one task? You mean you got to go here and see how many words. So one suggestion I have for you, if this is not what you're looking for, you can calculate them up. I mean, is there a place where they show the total? Do you have the answer for that, Tabby?
So I think what she's asking is if you can generate 7,000 words for one chapter, and you just have to have enough beats within that chapter to generate that many words.
Yeah.
And you can produce the whole thing. So you just don't hit pause. You just hit that generate button and just let it produce the whole thing. You do not have to hit pause. It will generate the whole chapter for you.
Yeah. I hope that answered your question, Elizabeth. The previous person asked how long the chapter is. I was wondering if the generate hits produce it. Okay, yes. You're welcome. Model makes a difference. Yes, as John said, different models. Most accurate is going to write longer description. Best Pro is going to be fastest. It's going to have more conversation, quick to the point. The balance is a good balance between the two. Conversation, description. It's my favorite. I'm sorry. I'm biased on this one. The fastest is going to be, normally it's shorter, but sometimes it might surprise you. It might be longer. It's going to go very fast. Battles, war, quick action. Fastest is great. Unfilter, it's something we're going to talk about tomorrow because Unfilter works a bit differently. It still produced 400 words at a time, take a pause, reread, and kept going. And all the other one that will be in the 301 that I will talk about, the experimental one. Do you have to ask the AI to do 7,000? You can. I don't know if it's going to do it. So you could go into your brainstorm. In a chapter 1 in the brainstorm, if you had like this part here in the chapter 1, you can probably says, I would like to have 7,000 words. You can try it. Doesn't mean it's going to give it to you. And also into your outline in the chapter 1, it's a special bracket that I will show you in the 301 how to put your bracket and talk to the AI. And you can tell the AI, I would like my chapter 1 to be 7,000 words. Hopefully it has enough information to produce 7,000 words also. because you have, oh, what's happened? Oh, I thought everyone was gone. Okay. So I think, any more question?
I was going to just touch on that too, for Stephen, that when you're up in the Beats box, when you first go to generate the prose, it will give you an approximate number of how many words it will generate with the amount of beats that you have. So, if you, like, if Manon, you change I think if you change your mode from balanced down there,
Let's see if
maybe you scroll down.
way.
Yep. And then
no, you have to be on a new one, and it's doing it at the start.
Yes, yeah, you're right, because it paused it. Yeah, so when you first start it, like if you first start it and then you have just your beats in there, it will give you, before you hit generate chapter, it will give you an approximate of how many words it will give you. If you want 7,000 words, you need to fill out that many beats, because you have to remember it's only going to be about 100 to 300 per beat. So you can see here right now with 12, you're only going to get about 2,400 words. And then that's how many credits it'll
balance.
Yes.
If I go on most accurate, it changed a little bit, but it didn't change much in the words. So depending on the model, it changed the credit, and the word doesn't change a whole lot. So you can see between the model the number of credits used for almost the same amount of words. See, the word didn't change, but the estimate credit went quite a bit lower than on most accurate, which is C, and we still have the same amount of words. Unfiltered, 6,000, same amount of words. So that gives you a small idea on how the credit work per models.
And guys, I wouldn't get caught up in the word count. I was a writing teacher for a very long time, and you guys don't have to have, 10,000 words a chapter. Your focus should be more on giving a great chapter instead of how many words are in that chapter. Don't get stuck on word count.
Exactly.
Put in the information you need, and don't worry about your word count. That used to be a big thing in printing when we used to print books, but now everything's an ebook. It's much more about what do you feel is a good chapter? What is a full chapter to you? Do you want short, sweet chapters, or do you want those long, drawn out chapters? Obviously, if there's a lot happening, you're going to have a longer chapter. So don't get stuck in the word count. Follow the chapters, as they kind of come through, and how you feel it needs to flow.
Should we write the whole project within Sudowrite? Yes, you can. You can write your whole project in Sudowrite. And that's where it's interesting to use all the laser tool and all the plugins to edit, to get your character progress, changing your outline, changing the twist, asking if you have a brain block there. It says, okay, I don't know what Maria's going to do. Is she going to win? Is she going to meet someone else? You can ask these questions inside the laser tool. So you can do the whole project in Sudowrite, but you cannot publish from Sudowrite. You have to bring your project into a Word document or the book processor you're using to do your books. How many classes will be there to get into advanced level? Well, tomorrow is going to be the 201, where I'm going to keep going with that story. We're going to develop it together, and you can ask more questions. I'm going to show you how to put brackets to talk to the AI to transform your story. I don't have a time today to do the style, but I'm going to show you how to bring your style into the story so the Sudowrite knows how to write the rest of the story. And with Tabi, with me, she's very good on one thing, to tell you how to change your genre or your style according to the chapter we're writing. So tomorrow and the next day, we're going to go deeper on that. So the 3 class, 101, 201, and 301, one after the other, it's the perfect way to start, and you're going to learn very quickly. Go in Discord, look under the classes, go listen as many as you want, but do not go too far. So don't go more than, I would say, 3 months to listen to classes. It's good to go in the past and see the other one, because there's always something that you're going to learn, and you can actually match to what's happening today in Sudowrite. But like 6 months ago, the Story Bible wasn't there. That was Story Engine. So when you're going to hear Story Engine says it's not there. It's basically the Story Bible now, which got transferred from the Story Engine in a different way. It's all in the same screen at this point. So listen to this class. There is a lot of YouTube video. Nicole, Lynn, John, Tabby, me. Who else do classes, which is very good? Did I miss anyone? Tabby?
Nope, I think that's everyone.
All right. So I'm hoping I can catch this class again on Discord before tomorrow, because I missed the first 20 minutes. I hope so too, Stefan, and I will make sure that it goes up. One thing that I can do is I can put it under international, so you're going to have access right away before that it can be put up. But normally we prefer to wait for Sudowrite to go and upload it for us. So you're welcome, RJ, and thank you so much, Tabby. So I'm going to stop the recording. I wish to see you all again tomorrow, and we'll go deeper into our Sudowrite writing, that fantasy book that we start today. Thank you all for coming. Oh, you're going to receive an email. Please let us know how you feel about the class, what you like, and what you like to see more. Don't forget, it's a 101. It's the basic class. Tomorrow is going to be more advanced. So we're going to link up what we learned today and go forward into our books. And next one, 301, we're going to go deep. We're going to have at least, probably by the time we finish the 301, we should have 3 chapters together, and a couple of surprises that I want to teach you as we go, how to get a better book faster written with Sudowrite. So thank you very much. You don't have to hang up. If you want to chat after I finish the video, stay with me. Thank you.